Hello, welcome to the Damm podcast, Season 3. Today, we're joined by a wonderful guest and friend of the show by the name of Corina Puscas. Puscas.
Yeah.
Nice, I didn't butcher the name this time. So, first of all, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for inviting me here, and yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Nice, it's always nice to hear. And it's also a pleasure for us to host you, obviously. But we brought you here because you're a very unique individual, from what I understand. Don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'll just say 3 words that I think define you, and then you say 3 words that you think define you.
Okay.
So, one would be leadership.
Okay.
One would be marketing.
Okay.
And one would be humorous.
Okay.
But how would you describe yourself to the audience?
In 3 words.
In 3 words.
Yeah, I feel like your terms are more work related probably. I will try to be more personal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one of them is motivated. Another one is honest. And another one is bold.
Nice.
Yeah.
And those are cool attributes.
Thank you.
About the boldness. So, you're originally from Romania.
Yes.
From?
I'm from Bistrița. It's a small town, but it's in the Transylvania region.
Mm-hmm. And as of now, we are all in Rotterdam, Netherlands.
Yeah.
So, about boldness, what made you come all the way here?
I was looking for a program in Romania to start uni, and the choices are not so broad in Romania if you want to study something in a non-technical domain, because in Romania most of the universities are, maybe computer science, engineering, medical school, law, but I wanted something more creative, so I was looking for something regarding communication, marketing, PR, and in Romania you don't have that many options. So I chose to apply for university in UK and Netherlands, and yeah, I ended up studying here at Erasmus. I studied communication and media, but at the same time I'm also a student in Romania. I study advertising there, so I'm doing 2 bachelors at the same time.
That's insane. But are you enjoying them?
Yeah, for sure. That's why I continue doing both. I like it in Romania because the advertising program is very practical. For example, we had a Photoshop course in term 1.
That's good.
Yeah, which is really cool and useful. And but I also like it here at Erasmus because I get the theoretical background that I need, and it's more academic and formal.
I mean, a lot of people have spoken about this issue in our podcast already about the theory part, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people would want to do practical stuff rather than theory, but I think there's this fine balance between both.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I have the chance to do both because, yeah, basically you get the best of both worlds. So.
But was it hard to find the practical university in Romania?
To be honest, I had no idea that it was this practical.
Mm-hmm.
I've just seen advertising and something that I was interested in, but I'm really glad that it ended up being that practical. Of course, we have theoretical courses as well, like research, for example. But I think after you graduate from Romania, you have more knowledge into the domain that you can actually use for a job or career.
I mean, we've spoken so far about marketing, we've mentioned it a bit, and also robotics in a quick manner, just briefly, but I would like the audience to get a clear idea of why we mentioned these things. So, you were the leader of a robotics team.
Yes.
That I understand, in Romania.
Yeah.
Right? But for 2 years.
So I was the leader for 1 year, but I was part of the team for 3 years.
For 3 years. And this was during high school?
Yeah.
So during your last 2 years, 3 years, let's say, like the first year you got into the program and you got to see how it goes, and then tell me from then on.
So it's actually a funny story how I entered the team.
Oh.
So I went to auditions, and of course we had interviews and tests, and I went there because one of my best friends went there as well, so it was like going there out of boredom, essentially. But I applied for the spot in the PR and marketing department, and it was only one free spot, but I was like already there, so yeah, I just tried it and I ended up being accepted, which was really cool, and I did not expect that at all. But I'm glad because I can say that my experience in that team formed a big part of my character and essentially the person who I am today.
So you got accepted and you got taken in to the team.
Yeah.
And you went with a friend.
Yeah, and he also got accepted.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that guy who was like, so your friend didn't get it. That's pretty sad.
Yeah, but he applied for the programming department.
Yeah, and that's a tough spot to get.
Yeah.
Is it like in Romania? There's a big culture with robotics.
Yeah. So, for example, in high school, you get to choose your major.
Mm-hmm.
So, my major was mathematics and informatics.
Jesus Christ. Like, is there
So,
anything
I
else?
was already kind of into the technical area with a lot of physics classes and computer science and mathematics, of
Yeah.
course. But I also wanted to try something new. So, that's why I applied for the PR and marketing spot.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I wasn't the brightest student for physics. I wasn't really into engineering.
If you're the brightest student for physics, I don't know, I liked physics in high school as well, but that's what I'm saying, like, I liked physics, but studying physics, completely different.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, but yeah, being also in a robotics team,
Mhm.
you already have some kind of small degree that you will learn on your way. So yeah, it was a really nice mix.
So you joined, so the first year you were a general assistant?
Yeah. So in the
That's
first year, basically in your first year, you start as a volunteer because you need to learn everything. You need to adapt, and most people do not, so
Mhm.
they don't remain in the team. But yeah, first year you start as a volunteer, and you will become a member after a few months. In my second year, I was a member, like official member, but I was also some kind of of the coordinator of the department.
Okay.
Yeah, me and other girl were the coordinators for the PR and marketing department. And in my last year, I was voted to be the leader of the whole team.
Democratically.
Yeah.
That was cool. How did that feel? Like, how did it go down?
I was surprised because when this was voted, I wasn't there in the meeting. So for me, it
like
was,
that.
yeah, for me it was
okay.
a surprise. We were at the competition and I was in my own room, but the whole team was in other room, probably partying or whatever. I was in my own room. And apparently, I heard the story after that, but apparently they had some kind of meeting about the next leader for the next year. And all of them voted me as their first option. And I was shocked because I heard this story only after the competition and when we were all back home. And I had no idea. We were in this meeting and one of the boys just stood up and said, let's welcome our next leader, Corina.
And you were like, what?
Yeah, I was like, since when? When was this discussed? I had no idea, but I almost cried and yeah, I was really shocked.
So they didn't ask you before?
No.
Like, oh, so like that. So just
Yeah.
like, welcome the new.
Yeah.
That's pretty epic.
I mean, of course I was honored, but it's a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
So.
So did you think about it afterwards? Like, whether you wanted to be and...
So the thing is that it's a robotics team, right?
Mhm.
So it's something technical. From my point of view, it would have been better the leader to have some kind of experience in engineering or computer science because this way you can manage better the members. But from other point of view, it's better to have a leader that is from the non-technical part because they might pay attention more to small details like everyone's well-being
Mhm.
and managing the team and leadership skills and all this stuff.
I mean, that segues perfectly to what I wanted to ask you because this is one thing that we've been dealing with since day one with the podcast production because roles, management, leadership, all of this stuff we work on a meritocratic system, so people do and people get, like you do your thing, you can do whatever. But when it comes to leadership, like I've realized it takes a lot more than people imagine because you have to get used to the idea of telling people what to do and seeing people for their real value, so not for how you would normally perceive them. So I mean, in your case, it's quite strange because it's a robotics team, and as you said, it's like there are fields that are very interlinked but so drastically different. and I wish I could say I can relate to that with the production, but production always circumnavigates the term content. So it's like, you know, outputting content, managing content, editing content, and producing content. Those are all aligned, right? But when it comes to robotics, you have advertising, you have managing, you have team leadership, and you have the, you know, the technical side, which essentially comes down to the main thing. So how did you manage, or how did you think you could manage, and then what did you learn on the way?
So for me, of course, I had the advantage of knowing all the members beforehand because it was my third year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But also, I could see from the year prior that how the previous leader managed everything. So I learned by seeing, by noticing, basically, what should I do? Because of course, I wasn't thinking that I'm gonna be the leader, but still, I wanted to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
Just for, I don't know, school projects or whatever.
It's a dope skill to have.
Yeah, and also we had 3 departments. We have programming, we have engineering, and PR and marketing. So each department has a coordinator, and basically I talk with the coordinators, and the coordinators with their members from their own department, and in the end everybody talks with each other, and yeah, I use this method. Yeah.
Okay. And did it prove successful in the long?
I think it really depends on the group of people that you're working with, because, for example, we had to decide between 2 strategies. So one of them is called the pyramid, where basically is the one that we chose. Like you have branches and branches and branches, and yeah, you basically talk from upside down.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one that ended up being not the best one is the circle one, when everybody's interconnected.
Yeah.
But when you use that, it can get really chaotic because, of course, everybody has a different point of view, and you need someone that has to take a decision, and that's really difficult if everybody has their own power. So yeah, that's why we ended up using the pyramid thing. But still, I think we kind of had a mix of both, or at least that's what I like to believe. Because of course we're still like students, so it's not like an official company. So in the end, yeah, as I said, everybody talks to each other, but yeah, we have like the responsibilities were like based on those branches.
Okay, but that makes sense to, you know, in a company, let's say in a company of robotics engineering, I mean, you need to get stuff done. Right, you need to get it done as fast as possible, and you need to get it efficiently and in a satisfactory manner for everybody, right? Because it's also a hobby in a way. It's a job, but it's not really. It's unpaid, so that's what I mean. But now I would like to ask you, what is it that you actually did in the robotics team? So what was the robotics team doing?
So I can talk from my point of view from the PR and marketing department. So in my first year, I started to learn how to create posts for social media, how to interact with sponsors, how to create documents, like contracts, for example, how to organize events, how to reach out to people. And I was lucky because my mentors in the first year were really kind and patient with me. So I think when I got in the team, I was really shy and introverted. But after 2 or 3 months, I became, I don't know, I think just comfortable with them and with everything that's around me. So I realized that, bro, I need to get this done. So I got really ambitious about it. And I think in a few months, I ended up being able to talk with CEOs of companies, but also asking for money. Yeah. Which is a huge step for
that
me.
That is a big step.
Being shy, so you can see the difference. And of course, this helped me a lot with my public speaking skills and budget managing and communication in general. So yeah, and of course, this got more and more and more alongside the years. And in my last year, as I was the leader, I ended up creating bigger events. For example, I organized a demo, like a competition in my hometown, and it lasted 3 days. And we were able to cover the cost for 3 meals a day for all the participants.
All of the participants?
Yeah, accommodation for all of them. Money in like prizes in money, and yeah, everything that was like promotional materials like diplomas, stickers,
Posters,
portfolios,
whatever.
posters,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And it was a big thing for me because I organized this basically on my own, but of course with the whole team, so everybody had their part. But I was the main coordinator of this project, and it was one of the dreams that came true. I always dreamed of organizing such an event. So.
And you managed.
Yeah.
At what age?
I think I was 18.
Yeah, like
or 19,
young 18
yeah.
or like late 18.
I think late 18.
Okay, because if you did it at 16, I
I
feel
wish.
bad about myself, genuinely. I would think like, what, an event? Damn. But what was the toughest part of setting up the event, would you say?
I think doing the legal procedures, because it was a lot of documents, a lot of collaboration with the city hall, with the county council, and of course sponsors, because as I said, we covered the budget for basically everything. And also the collaboration with the school, because the accommodation was in student housing on campus.
That's wise.
But during the year, students actually live there. So we have to ask those students to pack their stuff for a weekend so we can use those rooms for our participants.
Wow. I would never do that. If someone asked me, hey, can I move into your house for...
I mean, it was really awesome because they accepted that and
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's a really cool community you have there. So, I mean, that's a crazy cool event. But so the event in itself revolved around robotics, right? But what was the main, let's say, goal or event?
So there were a lot of events like this in the country, but most of them, like 80% of them, were only for one day, which is the actual competition with the robots. But I used to go to these kind of events all over the country, but because we lived quite far from those cities, we need to get accommodation on our own and food. And basically the whole trip lasted 3 days, but the competition would be only one day, from morning until evening. So I think the main goal of our event was to create such a competition that would be like the ideal one for everybody. So of course 3 days, but also give them accommodation and food. And 3 days might seem a lot, but on the first day we got them a lot of workshops like public speaking and media workshops. Also activities in the city. We also give them a list of restaurants and cafes where they can spend time. Also rooms for training. And workshops were in all of the 3 days. And of course, prizing money, like that's really cool.
But on the last day, then the main challenge was revolving around a robot that could do tasks.
Yeah, so for this, so basically the teams in Romania participate in First Tech Challenge, which is one of the biggest robotics competition for high schoolers international. So the main goal, of course, is winning the biggest prize there in the national competition. But these contests that teams organize in their own hometown basically are just some kind of official training for the national competition. So of course our competition was based on the same system as that's national competition, and it's based on matches. It's an alliance format, and it's kind of a game. You just have tasks to do, and the alliance that scores the most points wins. Okay.
But when you say matches, like, I don't want the audience to think this is like a robot fighting warfare.
No, they don't fight. Sorry.
It is epic. You know, we can all agree that fighting robots are epic. But so you were creating, like, your team, they were creating robots that could, I imagine, stuff like I don't know, land them.
Yeah. So for example, I think last year. So each year you have a different theme for the game, and I think last year. It was the anniversary of the moon landing.
Oh, wow.
So the theme was regarding that. So basically, let's imagine that you have a rocket that arrives on moon, and your robot is a rover, like a prototype for a rover, that has to deploy for the rocket. So now it's on a different planet, and has to move there, of course. So you need some kind of mechanism so you can move. Also to collect some stones or samples.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you need another mechanism for that, to catch them, and also store them in your robot. You also need some kind of mechanism to go through craters and stuff like that.
Oh my god.
So you can use suspensions or whatever.
Yeah.
But also a lot of sensors like color or light or movement. And yeah, you need also to move your samples into the rocket and then attach to the rocket again. And essentially go back to...
I mean, the attaching to the rocket again sounds easy. What was a magnet used?
No.
No? Okay, I thought that was the easiest way I would solve the problem. Just put a magnet.
I mean, I think in that year there was a rule regarding the weight, and I think it was a maximum of 19 kilos.
Oh, okay.
So it's quite heavy.
Okay. But like, that's the thing, it's like said like this, it's like, oh, to us it sounds so normal, like a robot that can do things like these. But to build Wall-E, okay, it takes...
Yeah, it looked quite similar to Wall-E.
Right, that's what I'm imagining, because Wall-E could store materials, that was his whole task. He could roam around, but he couldn't attach nor detach, that's what I mean, like even Disney couldn't, or Pixar couldn't do it, so...
I think the most difficult part, from my point of view, but of course I wasn't the one working on the robot itself, but just imagine you need some kind of robotic arm so you can attach to the rocket and lift all that 19 kilos, which is quite difficult with only one bar of metal. So, yeah.
But who financed the materials, stuff like this? Like, how did that work? Did you get a scrap junkyard? Like,
so you can. There are some special elements and kits that you can use for this. They are in the regulation of the contest. I think there are 2 or 3 companies that construct this kind of materials and elements. But basically, you buy a kit. You can also buy only elements, but usually you buy a whole kit. And yeah, everything we do and everything we buy is just from sponsors. So yeah, basically, it's just our own money that the PR and marketing departments will, got.
Because I mean, robotics is an expensive hobby. That's one thing people always say. I mean, that's why I was thinking like the junkyard type stuff, because I see in the US there's a lot of people who build robots out of like their junkyards.
I still remember in the first year of our team, our budget was not so high because it was something new, and of course we don't really know how to talk with sponsors and actually get money. So a lot of the parts from the robot were actually just plastic or cardboard, like handmade stuff.
Hey, I mean, you make do, you know what I mean? Like, we try.
Yeah, and a lot of duct tape. But I've seen these problems along the year with the budget. So my main goal when I was the leader was to increase this budget. And I think in my first year, our budget was about 2,000 euros. And when I was the leader, our final budget was 12,000 euros.
Wow,
so it's a huge increase. But
that's a mad increase.
I was really ambitious about it and determined to get more money, because if you have more money, you can buy better elements and materials for a robot, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
So I really got sad every time I've seen my members just crying over some old elements and trying their best, but they had a lot of potential and talent, and they were really passionate about working, but they didn't have what they needed.
Yeah.
So I really wanted them to be what they need, and essentially, I was able to do that.
Wow, that's very poetic.
Yeah.
Because I mean, ultimately, like a lot of my staff, including our cameraman, who he can talk. He can confirm that. I mean, since season 1 until now, we've been every season we improve the equipment. We just can't get by without incrementing the expenses, but like genuinely it makes our life a lot easier. But that's why I implement my cameras, because I mean, we change equipment and we upgrade, but I think for us it's reversed, because the more you spend money, the more you need to input to know what the fuck this shit is, because it's like there's some weird micro difference between one product and another, and that difference is the entire thing. What do you think, Khoi?
Wait, hold on, I gotta put this camera in.
Yeah, you get what I mean? Like the equipment improves, but stuff gets more damaged. I mean, the problem with this stuff is...
Yeah, dude.
It's a hard thing
the camera, your angle is kinda... It ran out of battery.
Hey, it is what it is. No, but ultimately, I mean, I think the biggest challenge is overcoming challenges. I know it sounds stupid, but like, challenges will be found anywhere.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
Mario Kart is a challenge. You can play video games and have a challenge. You can write a Google Doc of 500 words and have a challenge. So I mean, really, like robotics sounds like something that a person in high school doesn't really think, oh yeah, fuck it, I'll do robotics. That's what I mean. So that's what I meant at the beginning with you're quite a unique individual, because first you're doing 2 bachelors, second you're into math, and I'm counting with 3 fingers, and fourth, you worked in a robotics team, which is pretty amazing. But would you say, this is the segment to your future, would you say you would go back to Romania? Or would you leave?
For a job or?
No, after uni, yeah.
To be honest, I'm not decided yet. I mean, of course, I would love to go back to my home country and just be there like home. I think it's a really cozy feeling, I must say. But at the same time, I know that it's very difficult because the competition is really big, and it's just difficult. But here in the Western world or whatever, Netherlands, I think there are more opportunities for this, and also you are more respected and admired for your experience and your skills.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. People are paid a lot more here. I mean, an editor in Italy might get 20 euros an hour. Here, it's on average 60.
Yeah, it's
So-
basically the same with advertising or marketing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, because people here actually take into account all the work you've done and your process of being where you are, but in Romania it's not really, or at least I don't see it as being the same. It's very difficult to stand out in this domain.
Okay. But which field, so after you graduate or after your master's or whatever, doesn't matter where in the world, but what field would you want to work in? Would it be marketing or would it be specific type of marketing? So just for tech related?
So until a few months ago, my dream job would be to work also in like a project manager for an IT company, for example, or some kind of business related, but also in the technical area. So basically what I did in the robotics team. So I was in the PR and marketing department, but in the robotics team.
Okay.
So yeah, that would be my dream job. But now I've actually thought about it more, and I think what I really want to do in the future is work in the festival area, because I love
That's a switch and a half. I didn't expect that one.
because I was thinking how I really enjoyed organizing the contest that we did, and it was a huge success. I mean, even the national television came there, so it was really big. We had around 200 participants from all over the country, and I was really proud of myself, which is very rare.
First of all, congrats on that. Like, you ran the entire. That's mad. We organize a scheduled date and we're sweating. And you managed to get 200 people in a
So
room.
I really enjoy that, but moreover, I like to believe that I was good at it, and I wanna if I have potential in that area, I wanna continue doing it. So maybe I'll organize a festival in Romania, or who knows.
Okay, well that's pretty epic. First of all, I mean, for festivals, I think organizing it's all the same in the end. If you know how to do it, you can do it anywhere.
I mean, of course, you need a proper team.
Yes.
It's like a teamwork. It's not only individual.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's like with organizing, it's so much stress that if you can enjoy it, then more power to you. Like I've met a lot of people who organize, like not really organize, but like they schedule events, so like micro festivals, like gatherings, get-togethers, mega barbecues, that sort of stuff, and they get worked up because it's like one small thing goes wrong.
Yeah.
And then you can only see the small thing that went wrong rather than the entire event going well.
In this domain, burnout is really common, but that's why I'm saying that it's very important to work with a proper team, because for the contest that I organized, I was basically on my own because it was my first time and I wasn't really used to asking for help.
Yeah, delegating is hard as well.
Yeah, it was hard because it was the first time, but I managed to do it. But at the same time, it was a conflict because I was thinking to myself, okay, I can do this, so I should do this. But at the same time, the others could do it too. And it would have been easier for me if I would just ask them to do it instead of doing it myself, because this way I can do it something else that might be more difficult or whatever. But
Wow.
yeah, that's why I said that it was quite difficult for me because I didn't have the same mentality back then.
Yeah.
So I just ended up doing most of the work, and I would just delegate the most simple task,
That's true. That's
which
true.
was not the smartest move, but
Yeah, I mean, I have, for example, like a good example from this season actually. It's, Lucy Gerard, one of our guests, she actually said to me after the
I
podcast,
think it's Gerard to you.
Gerard.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, my French accent left the chat. But she said something really interesting also about this. She said, to this day, she still can't delegate work to others because she is a perfectionist.
yeah, totally.
So that's what I was about to say, that it's almost a talent to be able to grow out of the idea, because some people are such perfectionists in that sense that they would rather see everything than nah.
Yeah.
And she would not delegate her work to anyone.
I totally get her. Yeah, I was in the same position. So.
But how did you grow out of that? So is it just over time you had to do it, or?
So I really love when I receive feedback. So after the competition was over, of course I thank all of the team members for helping me. But I stepped back for a moment and I looked what could have gone worse and it didn't, and what went actually worse.
Yeah.
And how can we improve for the next year. So I realized that a lot of the tasks that I did could have been done for maybe, even though it was more time, but could have been done from other team members. But I didn't realize that at that time. But yeah, as I said, feedback is really important, and a lot of the team members told me what went wrong and what could be improved, and I really appreciated that. So yeah, we also wanted to make the second edition, but the pandemic went over and
Yeah.
we got unlucky, but probably next year or in 2 years, hope so. But yeah, it's I don't think I really grew out of it, to be honest. I think it's still difficult for me to some degree to delegate work, because if I know that I can do it, I would do it, because I can control that. It's difficult to control something that you're not really doing.
It's difficult to control someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the terrible part.
And I have to learn that I don't need to control that. And I'm still working on that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, what was the name of your robotics team, just in case people want to know?
It's both in gears. Yeah.
Bolts and Gears, ladies and gentlemen. And it was R006.
Yeah.
Nice. That was the number of the competition, right?
Is the number? So each team has a number. So the number depends on the time you entered the competition, and we were one of the veteran teams because we were since the first year. So that's why our number is 006. So basically, we are the 6th team out of, I think now there are more than 200.
I mean, 6 out of 200. I would put that anywhere.
I think in the first year there were 42 or 40 something.
Yeah.
In the second year there were 90 and 2 from Russia, I think so. In the third year there were 120 and 6 international teams. And then 140 or 50 and other international teams. And I think this year we're around 200.
Jeez.
Yeah.
200 teams. I'm not even gonna ask how big the venue has to be, because that's so annoying. But do you have any questions that you would like to ask?
Yes, I have a lot.
Let's
I've
go.
been getting questions from the community.
Yeah, community questions.
Where I need to get closer to my mic.
No, and also for the audience, in case you have more questions, you can leave them down below, and Corina will answer. And if she doesn't answer it, I'll answer on her behalf.
So if you don't know, I'm kind of like, my head is between 3 tripod legs.
So that's what he does for you guys.
Yep. So but this is more about robots.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is from me actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because how would you design a robot? Like, would you do it on the 3D software and then you 3D print it?
Yes. In the first few years it was difficult because we didn't really have the skills to do that. But of course we encourage more and more of the team members to learn how to design the robot in a 3D program. I think at the moment we use Creo. It's a 3D design platform. But I think we had 2 or 3 members that used other programs because they got really into it and passionate about it. So yeah, we got lucky with them.
Nice.
But yeah, we tried to do them 3D because this way you can also test them and see maybe a bolt applies pressure on a material and you can actually see that.
Nice.
And it saves a lot of time because this way you don't really need to build the robot itself and test it. So yeah.
Nice. So in order to make a robot functions, you need to code it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually from the community. I didn't think of it. Yeah. What coding languages do you use as a team?
I think we use Java. Yeah.
Hey, Java. Damm, I haven't heard that name in such a long time.
Really? I don't mind Java. It's very good.
Yeah, most of the members from the programming department are from my major, mathematics and informatics.
So they're insane. For
And
anyone
Yeah.
else.
yeah, in high
that's
school,
beasts.
in high school, we learned C++,
Ah.
and
Yes.
in the last year of high school, I think you learned C and C#.
Nice.
Shit.
So they had to learn Java on their own.
Damm.
Yeah.
Got them.
Also, there was no help from
No,
anyone.
and also we didn't have any mentors, like
yeah,
serious
like
mentors. Of course, we had some mentors, but basically everything that we did was on our own. So they also learned Java on their own,
Wow.
which is really cool, and I really admire them for that.
Yeah, that is admirable.
I only know Java because you need it to run Minecraft. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. But like, then I can see that Romania, like in terms of IT teaching for high schools, is so much better than what I had to go through in
Romania is
Vietnam.
really developed in that, in that sense.
Pretty epic.
I forgot the name of the coding language that I had to learn for
Python?
like. No, not Python. It's so much worse than that.
Oh yeah.
I had to learn it in like 7 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, so like 4 years in middle school and 3 years in high school. But it was so bad.
It was so bad you don't even remember the name.
Yeah, it was used in
7
the
years
80s.
of nothing.
It was used in the 80s.
Kidding.
I mean, that's the one I had to use that was like the worst one in my opinion was definitely Text Wrangler.
Never heard of it?
It's Apple.
Ah,
Yeah. It's
You
an
know, like-
Apple coding thing and it's the
in 8th grade, like when I think I was 5, was out, they changed the whole coding language system. And the language back then was called Swift.
Swift.
Yeah,
Never heard
like
of
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
But how swift was it?
I mean, I somehow made it.
What did you remember programming anything?
I know how to do Hello World.
Hey.
Yeah.
Alright. Go next question. I have a bunch of random questions as well.
Okay, so you work in a robotic team
Yes.
and you were the leader for 1 year.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. How do your experiences help you, like here in the Netherlands?
Can you repeat it?
Yeah. How did your experiences in Romania help you in the Netherlands? Like did it help you in some way?
So I think what I've learned as a leader in that team, of course, it really helped me at uni here with a school project. I think the most useful thing that being the leader helped me is taking into account everyone's point of view, because it's really important to make sure that everybody is heard and feels integrated in the group. So yeah, teamwork is essential. Yeah.
And that's about it.
That's about it?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's
I got a bunch of questions for you. So for random questions is, I always ask this to guests. Many of the audience will recall this question for the infamous highlight on Instagram. But if you have to choose one food for the rest of your life that someone had to cook for you, what would it be?
Wow.
Please don't answer the same thing.
For God's sake.
Yeah, I think it would be something that my mother would cook.
Oh.
Like something traditional from Romania. I don't think I have something specific in mind. We have a bunch of Romanian food that is only like traditional.
Mm-hmm.
But I think ciorba. So ciorba basically is a sour soup and I've never seen it anywhere else.
We're gonna have it on screen somewhere floating, probably on my
Yeah,
case.
it's very Balkan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I can say.
But what's the main ingredients? Is it like veggies or is it?
So it's like yeah, you can also do it with veggies.
Was it like a soup? Like a big
Yeah,
soup?
so just imagine a soup, and you also add some sour cream
Ah,
and lemon juice.
Oh, nice.
I see in the recipes that they have meatballs as well.
Yeah, you can also do. There is one type that has some
Okay.
kind of meatballs.
Choba de perisona
Yeah.
periso are.
Yes. This. Right here.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Okay. So, oh, this one's a tough one. This one I wouldn't know. Would you rather live abroad but never see your family again, or always be with your family and never leave your hometown again?
Oh no.
That's
Yeah.
a tough one.
Yeah, that's
a
really
really
tough.
tough one.
Yeah. So I have this idea that if you don't leave your hometown, you cannot grow. But at the same time, I really want to see my
I
family.
mean,
You
Fast
know?
and Furious, you guys know family means everything.
Yeah.
You can beat gravity and space with family. Come on, like.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't answer this question. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't know.
Nice. Would you?
No, I have to come back. If I don't, then I'm gonna consider myself a disgrace to the family.
Okay, that's already dope. Okay, third question. If you had to live forever in a country that you have never visited, which one would it be? So not that you've heard from someone or that you've seen photos or postcards, just a country that you have never seen.
No.
Well, not never seen, like you've heard of the name, but like...
Okay, so I've never seen and I've never visited and I've never heard anything of the country itself. But I think I would go to Argentina.
Argentina, that
It
is...
seems really cool.
It's epic.
But
That's
yeah.
a good answer.
What would you say?
I have no idea.
Argentina.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Angola or something.
Okay.
Like something like that. Because I don't know much at all. Like Zimbabwe seems really dope. But like I would want to see how much like I can do there. What can I do?
Why not? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Last question. Would you rather always be happy or always be rich?
Happy, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy all the time.
Yeah, for me it's
Yeah.
very important to be not happy, but at least okay. Because
Okay.
if
Yeah,
you
well-
don't have yourself, you have nobody.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
So I would rather, for me, just my well-being is really important. Because if you don't, it's obvious. Rich,
Yeah.
You know how
rich
people...
is not the main goal in life.
But the main answer I got was actually rich. You know why?
Why?
People always say the same thing. It's
Money
like,
can buy happiness!
money buys happiness. If I have money, I'll never not be happy.
I mean, yeah, I get it, but at one point you're gonna have everything, and if you have everything, that you cannot really know the worth of things anymore.
That's true.
So
But if you're always happy, are you happy?
Wow.
I mean,
No, because
Yeah.
think about it. It becomes your new norm.
but I would be happy to get to know that that's my new norm. You know?
Oh, like that.
But
okay.
the thing is, like, have you ever been happy for so long to know that you're bored of being happy?
Would you want to be sad on purpose?
I don't know. I mean, because I don't know how someone can be bored of happiness.
No, but think about it like this: like when you were a child and you had summer vacation and you had nothing to do, right? You had no responsibilities, no nothing. You could just play and do nothing, and still you had no reason to be sad. But still, life is life. Why?
Your balloon flew away.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
stupid like that, right? Because it's like if you're always happy, then one minor thing happens, and then fuck. But I get what you mean. If you're always happy, then you're never gonna be sus.
Yeah.
I think if you're happy, then you can also be healthy, but like mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then at that point, I think you can like be mentally strong enough to ignore the minor inconvenience.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope
Yeah.
that's the
I
case.
think that if you're constantly happy, you can see the every bit of good, even in bad events.
Mm.
I think that's a really good quality.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But again, like, what is bad, what is good, and then philosophy.
It's a social construct.
Yeah, exactly. But I have a last question, which I just want you to answer as fast as possible. So you walk in a store and it's an ice cream store. What do you get?
Chocolate ice cream.
There you go. What would you get?
Citron, lemon,
I'm not gonna say mine. People are gonna kill me.
strawberry.
No.
Vanilla.
No. Mint and licorice.
No.
Alright, thank you.
No.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us, ladies and
We're
gentlemen,
done.
for this wonderful podcast. I hope you made it till the end. If you did, just comment licorice or mint or something. Because, hey, it's good ice cream. If you eat ice cream in Italy, mint, bro, fire. Licorice, so good. You eat it here, it's nice. It's ice.
This is the minor inconvenience that made me unhappy.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
minor inconvenience.
Yeah.
So you would choose to be always happy. I would choose to be rich so I could just buy infinite fucking mint and licorice ice cream.
I will steal your money for that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine, that's fine.
I
But-
hope you don't.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for being our wonderful guest of the day, Corina
Thank you
Puscas.
for the invitation.
And thank you, Hoidon, for always being here behind the scenes. Here's his wonderful pace. And
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm not gonna put myself down.
I'm gonna put it there. Look at the drawing.
Aye.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you in the next one. In 5, 4, 3, I know! Bye.